So this display is set up for the Special Coverage Unit. This unit was founded in 1943 under the orders by Dwight D. Eisenhower, and this unit was created with the intention of documenting the major events of the invasion of Europe by the United States and the Allied forces. So the unit's commander was a director by the name of George Stevens. He, at the time, his most famous movie was probably Gun Gadin.
Oh, okay.
And he was commissioned by the U.S. military to lead this unit. He would hold the rank of lieutenant colonel during the war. He's kind of among those Hollywood men like John Ford and I think Hudson, who all were directors and worked in Hollywood before the war, and then would specialize in it during World War II.
Doing films and things that would look good for the people back home.
Yeah, exactly. So there were different branches within the photographic corps in the U.S. military. There were the Special Coverage Unit was its own unique thing, and there were a few others for each branch of the military that had their own specialized motion picture or photography units. And along with that, the U.S. Army had their own signal photographic companies, and they were all attached to Army groups, whereas our unit was attached to Supreme Headquarters Allied Expeditionary Force, so SHAEF.
So did you go to battles and record them?
Yes.
You pulled out your iPhones at the time, the iPhone 1 and
yeah, so the cameras that this type of unit used was primarily
the iPhone 1980, 1994.
Yeah.
1943.
1943.
The cameras that they used were the Bell & Howell 35mm IMOs. And they came in a wide variety of different kind of configurations. This is...
I'll grab that.
Oh, yeah, well, so this is the bomb spotter variant. This was originally made for the U.S. Air Force, but then was used by ground photographers. Some of the different changes from the standard version right there, which is the Q. This has an integrated crank on the side, along with a pretty rudimentary computer to change the film speeds at which your shutter speeds and all that. You can see the back is flat, where on this one there's a door, and the door allows for a 400-foot external magazine for 35mm film. And to use this, you'd have to also use in conjunction an electric motor that links the main spring inside to the motor with a spring that kind of loops around. And
so you use batteries to...
So yes, there was a portable battery, a 12-volt battery that was issued along with it to use on this. Otherwise, it's a hand-wound spring-operated camera.
Okay. So do these cameras actually work?
Yes, so both of these cameras work along with the 16mm Filmo up there, and they all run perfectly. I've cleaned them, I've worked on them, I've taken them apart and put them back together again. I had to fix and clean the spring on this, which was a big pain. I got cut multiple times because it's a really, really thick spring that's about the thickness of the actual width here. And you have to wind it, and the tighter it gets, obviously, the more tension. And it occasionally, if you're not careful, will unwind and it'll just kind of fling out and it can cut you because it's really thin but really strong metal. I ended up having to make a jig with wood and a dowel, and then use a electric drill to wind it up, and then clamp it tight and then shove it back in there just to clean it, because it was all gunked up with the way it lubricates is through graphite powder.
Oh, all right, yeah.
Over time, it can get kind of sticky and clump up, and the spring won't.
I would imagine it's like in a hot area or something like that'll.
Yeah, and then the thing is the spring uses the graphite powder to lubricate, but other parts use oil. And if the oil leaks into the same compartment with the spring, the oil mixing with the graphite powder just gunks it up even more. And so if you ever have issues with the spring or the motor in this, it's usually to do with that spring. And you can access it through the back in here. You have to unscrew some stuff. And that's how there would be another one of these with the film up here. It would feed through behind this slider which is between the back of the. So up here is where the shutter is, and then back here is just you pinch the film into it, and then it takes up again onto another spool.
So do you process it? You have like a dark room thing here? Or you nail it off somewhere?
Yeah, so with this particular film, you have to send it off to there's a company, I think it's out of New Jersey, that does it. It's called the Film Photography.
What about people during the war, though?
Oh, during the war, they had facilities all over that would develop film. During D-Day, the laboratory was in London. Once Paris was liberated, it was in an old theater in Paris.
Oh.
Because a lot of those theaters would have a darkroom of their own for development.
Oh, okay. I hadn't thought of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how long did the film last? I mean, was it like a 10-minute or 15?
So at the typical speeds they shot at, with 100 feet, it can last about like 3 to 4 minutes.
Okay.
You can stretch it out to 6 at a slower speed, but there was such thing as sound speed. So if you were filming something at a speed that wasn't set up for sound speed, that's where you get kind of in early films where people look really slow or they're going really fast. Because the human eye can only process pictures so quick. And so the film came in canisters like these. They were a metal container with the roll I showed earlier inside, wrapped with 100 feet of film. It was actually about 112 feet of film to account for the leader on the ends of the film, so you don't expose it. But actual usable amount of film was 100 feet. And yeah, we have a few, and then 2 up there.
So you're gonna shoot some stuff today?
Yeah, so hopefully we're trying to get onto one of the landing craft to film landing operations.
That'd be great.
Yeah, since this unit didn't land on D-Day, they were on the armada of ships outside as the landing was happening. So we kind of want to recreate that as best we can here, but filming more of the landing operations and letting the other photographers of the First Army here film the stuff on the beach. If we don't have to be close to the gunfire, that's ideal. So.
Okay.
we only carry 1911s, and even then, what are you going to hit from even 100 yards?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what we do.
Our display, although this is obviously a Normandy-style event, pre-England, as well as going into the invasion itself, we're actually representing post-Normandy. So in Carentan, in around June after the invasion, so in the D-Day plus, maybe even July. So this is kind of an example of what, the guys would have had set up if they're in the field, because they would have traveled on Jeeps a lot. I think it was 4 men per Jeep, and they would oftentimes carry everything that they needed on the Jeep. So right here is my lieutenant's cot. It's got a bug net on it. I'm not necessarily sure if the bug nets are correct to the ETO, but we just have it on there out of convenience because the bugs kind of suck at night.
Yeah, I bet.
He's just got a bunch of his miscellaneous gear in the corner right here. We have our little ammunition dump. As you can see, we have some liberated beverages that we picked up, repurposing these ammo crates and such. We just kind of have a little weapons cache over here.
So what is this?
So that
it's wire.
It's a field phone with a wire spool.
Okay, yeah.
So if you've gone to the Allied headquarters over there, I'm sure you've seen their switchboard. And those would, the switchboards were allowed you to use multiple of those field phones, but you could have 2 of them connected to each other with a spool of wire, and they'd work exactly the same. So
you get those out and roll them out, like kind of a garden hose or something.
Yeah,
almost.
basically, and you could connect them. That way you could communicate with people over distances while using a wire, not having to use a handy-talkie or a walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
We also have just a camouflage net right here, just to kind of camo stuff. Oftentimes these were used to cover up vehicles as well as cover up positions. We have a larger one right there. Those sizes were mainly kind of for Jeeps. This one was actually a cut down one. You can see how on the top right there that it was cut, but that's an original net that I picked up.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty nice net. If we look over here, we kind of have a field desk area. This is my lieutenant's desk right here. We have a typewriter. We have his little slating card. This is for later, for when we film the invasion. So we have a typewriter to type up stuff if we need. Just a little cubby right here. That right there is actually our great uncle Ben Pham. He's just kind of in the corner. He fought in the whatever that interwar. I think it was the Spanish-American War or something like that.
Yeah.
So Ben Pham just kind of chills out right there. We look over here, we come over to my desk. I got another typewriter for myself. It's a little bit messy right now because we were in the middle of eating and cleaning. Above it, we have a laundry line right here. And like I said, since we're doing post-Normandy, we also have some captured items here. So we have this very neat Luftwaffe radio. This was actually this was given to John. This is an original. And we just have a P-38. This is just one of the Rooney blank firing ones. But it's a nice little captured piece to have. We also have this little chest right here. This contains a lot of miscellaneous personal stuff. I can open it up. Right in here, we have some dominoes and some manages.
Something a little to pass the time.
Yeah, and we get so bored from sitting around baking in the sun. A little bit of light entertainment. That way we don't go crazy.
Yeah.
We have another slate card that can contain more information, such as the subject, as well as the dating and the role that we're using. That way we can keep track of what's what. Put this back down right here. Then we kind of come back over. We have the 2 cases that our typewriters have been in. That there's a musette bag that contains a lot of personal items and such to myself. On the top, I just kind of have my hygiene bag right here, as well as some extra clothes in there. Obviously, got my M1 pot here, my M1 Grand rifle right there, and then just some more stuff. We got tanker jacket. That's my tent where I slept last night. Got a bunch of my sleepwear. You can see my white long underwear. It got a little chilly last night. I learned the hard way when I first came that it kind of starts out hot at night, but then you like wake up at 4 in the morning freezing. So I kind of have to sweat to go to sleep, but at least I don't wake up freezing. And that's kind of the getup that we have right here.
All right. So you come to this. Are there other things like this that you go to?
I've been to a lot of different events, both ranging from public events like this, tacticals and private immersion events and stuff like this. I kind of like to do a bunch of like all of them. I like immersion events if I want to, really get into it and stuff like that. So I can, immersion event so I can immerse myself. I like doing those, but if I just strictly do that, then what's the point of reenacting? I'm just a LARPer at that point.
Yeah.
So it's important that we do, public events like this. That way we can educate the public. Obviously, my friend John here, my lieutenant, he was talking to you a lot. He gave you a lot more information about the cameras and stuff because he's a big nerd about that kind of stuff. I'm just kind of helping him run the show here, as well as acting as a backup cameraman. I have some limited knowledge on cameras, but obviously not as much as he does. But like I said, public events are a big important thing. It's important that we, talk to people about this stuff. People stay informed. And there's always new stuff to learn. There's new stuff coming up, like new information being learned. Like this unit, I didn't even know about it until my friend John told me about it. So I think it's very awesome that we're here doing this.
There's a lot of people here that
absolutely, yeah. I know he's done some stuff on his own with this unit, but I think this is the first time it's kind of evolved to more than one person other than himself doing a display at a major, larger event.
Okay.